Folks, I don't know why I didn't start filming this. We were just watching a video, or tried to watch a video, about Manis Friedman, the whole now famous, I guess, machloket argument between Manis Friedman and people accusing him of being, I don't know, koifer, like a heretic, for saying that God needs us to do mitzvot. God needs something. And so the issue is, how can you say God needs? Because if God is perfect, anything is perfect, right? Just by definition doesn't need anything. So now Frank and I are coming to say, I'm coming to say, I don't have a problem with saying that, because it's not that he needs like we need stuff, like we need a burger or we need to go to the bathroom. It's that, first of all, if he created a world, clearly, and he put people on it, and we're his creation, anything that created something wants a relationship with what he created. Or in this case, that we know. That's basic hashkafa, that's basic philosophy. So to say that he needs, again, it's not needs like we needs. It's a need that's built into his perfection, almost, I want to say.
Interesting way of putting it.
That just kind of came to me.
Nice.
Part of that perfection is his built-in quote-unquote need
for us.
For us, that's it. It's like a husband needs a wife. If we're saying, that we're the wife, which you had trouble kind of accepting, but different discussion. But so that's it. So now we were talking about why would Haredi people or other Orthodox people would accuse another guy, a guy like this of even so much as saying this. And we were saying that some guy who doesn't understand the nuances of the thing, which is not really crazy nuances, would go take it and run with it in some direction and say God is not perfect because he needs. So you were trying to explain basically the whole thing of why Mizrahi would have that mindset. Why would he say these things?
Yeah. So just a little backup, because for some people who might be joining us for the first time.
Yeah.
So, Rabbi Manis Friedman,
yeah.
He's bringing ideas from the Torah, from Chassidut,
yeah.
as he would like to say.
Yeah.
To me, it's just traditions.
Yeah.
Right? What does it say? What is this whole thing about God needs? What does that even mean?
Yeah.
Right? How could it be possible? Because, a very simplistic way of looking at it is like God's perfect, which if God's perfect, he must, he couldn't have any needs.
Yeah.
But it's on the contrary. God is showing that perfection, he is perfect.
Yeah.
And he has a need for us, for a relationship.
Yeah.
So
despite his perfection.
Right. So when it comes to saying God's all powerful and God is perfect, what does that really mean? What are we actually saying? Because if you look at Maimonides' 13 Principles, right? If you read it, it says God is perfect in his existence.
Yeah.
Let's just let that sit there for a minute.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means God created existence.
Yeah.
God lends existence to existence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Existence needs help existing from God.
Whatever the heck.
God doesn't need help existing.
Yeah.
He has everything.
Yeah.
His existence is not reliant on something else.
Yeah.
He's the only being that you can say that for.
Yeah.
Constantly, he allows everything else to exist. He causes everything else to exist.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's God's perfection. That's really, when we're saying God is all powerful and perfect in his existence, doesn't need help existing.
No.
Now, in terms of God's need, Rabbi Manis Friedman is arguing something very interesting. He's saying that God, not only does he need, he's the only being in the universe, in existence, that has a need.
Yeah.
Nothing else has needs.
Like a real need.
Yeah.
A real
nothing
need.
else. Nothing else.
Like a need that's actually something.
Yeah.
As opposed to our needs, again, which is nonsense. Like burgers and calzones.
The idea is we don't have, what Rabbi Friedman was trying to point out, is that we don't have real needs.
Yeah.
For instance, when a person says, I need to eat.
That's what's
Or I need to go to sleep. I was just trying to explain the way he explained his wording.
Yeah.
I need to sleep, I need to eat, I need to breathe. No, you don't. You don't need any of that. Your soul had no need for any of this. It's not for us.
Yeah.
It's God needs us to be in these circumstances.
Yeah.
He needs us to be in this condition.
Yeah. For whatever reason.
Now, if you're thinking to yourself, why, you have to understand that's obviously a completely separate discussion.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, the circumstances that we find ourselves in, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what the details of those circumstances are or could have been in a different way, whatever they are, it's God's need for us to be in those circumstances.
Yeah. God needed.
Why does He need us?
Like this girl Mia Shem. He apparently, and we may not like it. Apparently, Hashem needed her to be taken as a hostage, released, and to do these interviews.
It's a rough discussion.
It's a difficult thing to discuss
because when you look at the reality, when you take these concepts of Hashkafa, Torah, and and you apply them to reality, there really are no. There really is only one force of cause in the world. That's
dirty.
God.
It's dirty. Yeah. And when you see what just happened October 7th, you're saying to yourself, God is ultimately. And people say, don't blame God.
Not ultimately, immediately.
Immediately, meaning when you, like, Hamas are instruments.
Everything is an instrument of something that God's doing.
Yeah.
God does things, and He does things with all sorts of different means and methods and messengers. Yeah. But it's Him doing it, 100% micromanaging everything. Yeah. That's rough. That's a rough reality.
We can't accept. Yeah, a lot of people can't absorb that.
Right. So people who cannot accept that, and I'm not saying that I can, because that's probably like my main struggle, but that's the reality. Yeah. To worship God, you got to worship God as He is,
in the totality,
not in the way you want Him to be.
Yeah.
You can't say God is does nice stuff for me, and the bad stuff that happens, that's this evil guy with horns, and a pitchfork.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do good. There's this thing that people are like, there's a battle between God and the devil, and the devil is winning, and this and this and that and that.
No, that's what,
folks, like.
that's a fairy tale that needs to be told to children and people with childlike understanding of the world. Because if they looked at God directly, they would hate Him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's difficult. Folks, October 7th really highlighted what we just said.
So,
Frank and Svi in the same car right now. Our friend Hadas is asking a question. Yes, we are. Yes.
So faith comes into, I guess, like, I'm not going to say for me, because we all breathe the same air, and right? We all feel pain. We're in the same world, the same, So faith means that, going through whatever God puts you through, okay? Yeah. And having faith that someday
you'll understand what the hell happened.
You will appreciate your role in serving God in whatever way He used you for service.
Yeah.
Or another way of putting it is, like, you could say, it's possible that I don't understand everything, that I'm limited, my ability to see the reality and what things really are. I just cannot appreciate reality and God's purposes and needs. There's a lot of, that's faith.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I always think of, like I was saying this before, a lot of people from for example, the Holocaust, right? So people who were religious before the Holocaust, who went through the Holocaust, stopped. They came to Israel, stopped being religious. Some people, and then the people who were not, they had miracles, and they survived, and they became religious. And then I think of somebody like the Klausenberger Rebbe, who lost his entire family in the Shoah. He survived.
That means his wife and all of his children.
His wife and all his children, and he came to Israel, and he made a whole new family. And not only that, he did so much hesed, and he opened this hospital, Lanyado Hospital in Netanya. And like, it's incredible. And you think to yourself, that a person like that, like, saw hell, you know, could have been like, you know what, the heck with this? Like, what is this? Like, Hashem, really? You're you know, this is what you're doing to your people?
So
to you know, you're chopping off. Not only you're chopping off a third of the population of the Klal Israel, you are, like we talked about how much Torah was destroyed. You destroyed your own well springs of Torah.
No, the horror of the events is unimaginable.
Yeah.
It's beyond. It goes beyond the ability.
Yeah.
It's so you know. I don't really know, like, faith, to have faith, you know, in God's...
All for what? Maybe to create a state of Israel? Really?
No,
the state of Israel that's like...
It's not the reason.
You know, no, it's not the reason. I'm saying, like, if a person is just kind of looking at it from a
there's no information available.
No, I know. I'm just saying a person just sitting around and he like thinks to himself, like, let's say on kind of something that's readily available he could look at, right? Right, so there were Jews obviously before the Holocaust living in Israel. There was a whole infrastructure being built, right? But people can come and say like, oh, you know, this whole thing was created which is a stupid idea. I don't think it was created because of the Holocaust. It wasn't. But let's say a lot of people come and say that, right?
People just say shit.
I know. I'm just
I don't want to repeat it because it confuses everyone.
No, I know. For the purposes of what I'm trying to illustrate is like, even that's stupid. Even that's not an answer.
All reasons are stupid.
Yeah, even that's not an answer. Like, we could have the land of Israel. We could have like, you know, Jews there. We can have a government like
without a single kitten losing a whisker.
Yeah, like
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
you're not gonna figure this formula out. This calculation. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
the information is not available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know, it's anybody who says this happened because of this or this happened because of that is such an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I can't blame them because, like, what do you expect the person to do? Like, the mind can't deal with this.
Yeah, they can't deal with.
So you have to live in a fairy tale, you know, just to not hate.
Yeah. Well, listen. My point was about a person like that who's kept his emunah despite everything.
So I'd like to say listen, I'm not going to say exactly how he did it, but
how you think he did it?
I actually know exactly how he did it.
Okay.
He never looked at it through his worldly soul or mind. He never approached it. He's a person who is so in contact with his godly soul.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. That he doesn't need an explanation for what's going on here.
He could see the bigger picture.
Because the soul, the godly soul, right? Because every human being has a worldly soul, it's called the animal soul, and a godly soul, which are bonded together.
Yeah.
So the trick to getting through this life without utter misery is to just find a way to communicate, to make contact with your godly soul. And if you do that, and you're hanging out with your godly soul doesn't give a damn what happens to it, or any pain or any horror that it sees in this world. It loves God absolutely, unconditionally, and fanatically.
Because that's its source. Yeah.
Whatever the reason is, it just does.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. It can't not love God.
Yeah. It's tethered to God.
It's whatever it is.
Yeah.
It just can't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what it sees God do to anything or anybody, or how horrible it seems or anything. The godly soul is unconditionally bonded and constantly in love with God.
Yeah.
So the only way to not be absolutely miserable in this world is to somehow make contact with your own godly soul.
Yeah. And he was able to do that before that.
Yeah, so that's what a tzaddik is.
Yeah.
A person who just does that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And there's no way that it's like you ask the godly. Let's say you could talk to your godly soul. Why do you like him? You ask your godly soul. Yeah, it's like what is there to like?
It's like asking a girlfriend that's getting abused, I guess, for lack of a better analogy.
Yeah.
What do you see in this guy?
No, but
well, he's nice when you're not around.
It's a good metaphor.
Yeah.
But it's not even accurate. You know why? Yeah. Because the girl will say,
when we're alone,
you don't know what it's like when we're alone together.
Yeah, right? He doesn't beat me when we're alone by himself.
That's not,
and it's actually true.
And the godly soul can't even say that.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. It just is. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In a way.
I'm kind of doing some shtick here.
Yeah.
But it's like it doesn't. It's like
you can't talk to it.
You can't have a rational discussion with your godly soul on this topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's the godly soul is an infuriating being. It's infuriating.
And so he got in touch with that, with his own thing,
Yeah. So tzaddikim that's their primary consciousness, is their godly soul.
It's kind of like, there's that story. Elie Wiesel tells the story when he came up to the Rebbe, and he to the Lubavitch Rebbe, and he asked him, how is it possible to believe in God after the Holocaust? And the Rebbe just told him, you want me to believe in men?
It's a cop-out.
It is a cop-out.
Listen, I'm the biggest fan of the Rebbe there is.
Yeah,
but
well,
listen,
answer,
it's a cop-out.
Yeah.
What's he gonna? No, but at the same time, I'm not criticizing him, because what's he gonna say?
Yeah.
God put the Rebbe in an impossible position, literally impossible.
Yeah. For sure.
Essentially, what I interpret his answer is, look, I don't know, man, but I'm not gonna believe in man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. It's like, I'll tell you who not to believe in.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson, though. It is a good lesson. It sounds like a cop-out, but it's a fantastic lesson, because you see after COVID...
It's a cop-out, but there's no option.
But look, with COVID, we there was a choice. We got a choice. Either you're going to believe in Hashem, or you're going to believe in these Fauci and all these fruitcakes. That was the choice. You're going to believe in Hashem. Who do you want me to believe in? Fauci or Hashem? That's really what he's leading to. He's leading into, like... It's always that choice. You know what I'm saying?
It's more complex than that a little bit.
Obviously,
I'm not trying to be a dick to you.
I know.
But basically, it's like, you see, my problem is I have no problem believing in God. I know God's real. I know 100%. That's not even a matter of faith to me.
Yeah.
Matter of faith is, how can I like him?
Yeah, I don't think you have to like him.
No, it says we have to like him.
It says we have to love him.
I don't understand how that...
It says we have to love him.
Right. So that's,
dude, you ever love somebody but not like him? Hello, what's our favorite comedian? He's passed away, so I could say he's our favorite. Patrice O'Neill. I love you, but I don't like you.
Yeah,
bro. It's shtick, but it's true. You can love Hashem, but you ain't gotta like.
Patrice O'Neill was saying that women should be
likable but not lovable.
He said women ain't likable.
They're not likable. Yeah. No, he's saying I'm lovable or something like that. And
you're crossing your wires.
I know. Yeah.
I got it. Now I have to untangle this Patrice mess.
Yeah.
Listen, it's like this. He was saying like this that women. He said two different things. Women should be happy with like. If the guy likes you, that's better than if he loves you.
If he loves you,
you're going to have a better relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay?
Make yourself likable.
Because if he likes you, that's actually, you're looking, that's where the romantic stuff is going to happen that you're looking for, right?
Yeah, the love is like...
Right. So you got to do, he was saying...
Love is like, I'll take a bullet for you. Like is like, I'll actually do things for you.
I'll tell you what he said.
Yeah, okay.
He's like is when, he actually wants to hang out with you. He wants to hold your hand and all, all that corny crap that you like.
Yeah.
Okay? He likes you. Okay?
Yeah.
But what he says, women force guys into love situations.
Yeah.
When they're forced, they love you, they no longer like you.
Yeah.
You're not likable.
Yeah.
He's like I'm likable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was trying to explain to women. He goes, women, you don't understand. All right. Let's here's something you can relate to, right? You are sexable. That's the word that he used.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means that ever since you can remember, ever since you went through puberty, somebody's trying to have sex with you, right?
Yeah.
Like think about it. How many guys have ever tried? Like infinite guys.
Yeah, somebody's trying to convince you to go here, go there. Yeah.
Right. That's because you're sexable, right?
Yeah.
But just because I want to have sex with you doesn't mean that you want to have sex with me.
Yeah.
So which means just because you're sexable doesn't mean that I'm sexable, right? And then he pauses.
Yeah.
He goes, but and he's like, just because I'm lovable, meaning if you love me, just because I'm lovable doesn't mean that I love you. That's what women don't understand.
Yeah.
Right? Like generally.
Yeah.
Like a woman thinks that when a woman falls in love with a guy, and there's something like a lot of times,
it's like a chemical thing, something going on in the brain.
There's like an assumption that's made that it's
it's reciprocal. Yeah.
Not always. Actually, not usually.
And when it's not the case, they go, it's you don't want to see the result of that. That's a whole other thing. So when a woman realizes that she loves you and she's not sure if you love her, that's rough. That's pretty. For a lady, it's rough for anybody, especially for a lady, right? Yeah.
So then she has to wait for you to say it first.
Yeah.
Right. So while she's waiting, she's getting pissed at you because why was she there before you?
Yeah.
That's because she ain't lovable. She doesn't want to realize that she ain't as lovable.
Yeah.
See, there's a lot of things to come to terms with.
Yeah.
The guy was really, really smart about some things.
Yeah.
About some things.
So my point is, like, you know, we have to love Hashem, whatever that means, but we ain't gotta like him. And in fact, most of the time, it's not that we don't gotta like him, we don't have to like what he's doing, or what he's allowing, or what he's responsible for, you know, what we see in front of our face.
The reason why
we don't have to like any of it.
Yeah, but I like what you're saying, but that's not what anybody who's ever taught me Torah is saying.
They're
saying you always have to be besimcha. You have to be happy. What are you, crazy?
Dude, can I say something? These people are American retards.
No.
I never heard Russians say that crap.
No.
And if they are, they took it from some American Kirov idiot.
No, I can't. Look, I don't want to be a contrarian.
Dude, it's not contrarian. I have a problem, big problem with these people.
Look, it says joy.
Yeah, wonderful. No, exactly. Goyim don't have trouble with these things.
No, listen. The deepest teachings of the Torah, they talk about this joy.
Yeah,
no, it's real.
But it has to be real. Yeah.
No, right. So the thing is, I don't understand how they achieve it. So you
know how they achieve it? They do fake it till you make it. That's what they keep saying in this Kirov world. They fake it till you make it. No, I can't fake it till make it. No, there's no fake it ever. No faking.
I don't think you can fake it with that. But I think, again, the answer always goes back to the same thing. They make contact with this. Being besimcha means you get a contact high from your divine soul by attaching to it.
Yes.
That wording, the way that I just explained it, is something that I had to figure out all by myself.
So
there's no one that ever phrased it that way and explained it.
So if the next sentence, in which case, if the next sentence from these schmucks would be, the way to do that is to learn Torah, great. Not the way to do that is walk around with a smile on your face and the nana kippah and be retarded, and smoke weed. I don't know, whatever. Like, pretend that everything is okay and nothing is bad in your life. I need you to
Greg's on a rampage.
No, it's not a rampage. If you're true fanatics, guys, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. This is what they've been doing since I've been in the Kirov space, or whatever you want to call it. This is what I see from them, and I want to wring their necks. I don't know. Wake them up somehow.
Don't wring their necks. You know why?
What do you mean?
You know why?
Why?
I'm not saying they're wrong. I agree with you, but don't wring their necks. Because
I mean, figuratively, obviously, I'm not going to wring their necks.
Even figuratively, don't wring their necks.
Yeah.
Don't even figuratively wring their figurative neck.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Not even that.
Okay.
Because, you know what? It's rough here. What are and they're just struggling, just trying to figure shit out, and that's how they're dealing with it.
But can I say something? They're dealing with it temporarily, because what ends up happening, that once they crack and once they realize that what they're doing doesn't work, they have a meltdown and a breakdown. And have you ever seen, for example, one of these hippy dippy guys from Tzfat go off on somebody? The guy who's like all happy and cheery, and then all of a sudden something goes wrong and he cracks and breaks. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that episode like that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Bro, you don't want to be around that stuff, bro. I know of a story where a guy murdered another guy. Literally murdered another guy.
I've never heard anything such as.
I've heard like in Tzfat this happened recently. So, dude, I mean, just be real, because when you're real, you're gonna be stable. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? What I'm saying? You're gonna be like even keel. You're not gonna be up high. You're not gonna be down low. You're just gonna be real and
be nice and miserable.
No, not miserable.
Like
just
me.
No, dude, you are not miserable. Trust me, bro. I've seen miserable. You're not miserable. Trust me. Okay.
I don't spread my misery.
Listen,
I'm miserable when you ain't around, when no one's looking.
Dude, come on, listen.
I don't understand you. You're being kind of an asshole.
No, I'm not being an asshole. I'm just saying I've seen miserable and you're not. Believe me, I've seen. I know enough Russian Jews.
It's kind of a strange conversation to have.
Yes, I am miserable. No, you're not.
That's very obnoxious.
That's not obnoxious.
If someone tells you they're miserable,
no, I'm just saying you can tell me from your perspective however you perceive miserable. I accept what you're saying. What I'm trying to tell you is, for a miserable guy, I'm
trying to stay functional.
Yeah, I'm saying I know people who are miserable who can't freaking function, and who are like.
Well, I got a kid,
and I have relatives, who are like, and even that they have kids, who are miserable and they make everybody else miserable, and they are negative, and they are this, and they don't have any like aspirations or dreams, and they're not trying to go, like we're trying to do this thing, we build this out, what we're doing here, and we're still optimistic about it despite all the challenges. Even you told me the other day, you just have to have patience. Like I don't have a lot of patience, you have more patience than I do.
I didn't really sound like that. Here's what I said.
Yeah.
I said that I heard some guy say
Mm-hmm.
that a failure and a loser are
Yeah.
two separate things.
Yeah, it's true.
A failure is okay. A
Yeah.
loser is someone who gives up because of failure,
Because of failure.
right?
If you fail, and then you just try the other next thing, or you try the same thing again,
Right.
and whatever.
So winning is virtually guaranteed.
Yeah, it's just a matter.
Without ever giving up. If you
Well,
never give up,
Yeah,
it is guaranteed.
it's a question of just time, right?
Right. Is it going to happen when you want it to? Hell fucking no.
It's kind of like the reverse of this idea. There's this website, Zero Hedge, so their slogan is, on a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone is zero, right? So I like to say, on a long enough timeline, the survival rate for failure is zero.
Yeah, you can
It's
say
just
like,
it could
that's
take you
fine.
forever. Okay,
It's not gonna
not
take
forever, but it could take you,
It'll
longer
be
than you
sometime
thought.
during your lifetime.
Yeah,
You will succeed.
yeah.
Right?
If you just keep at it, whatever it is.
Right. Just just don't give up.
Yeah.
Right. So so how do you get yourself to not give up? That's a whole
Yeah.
separate topic.
Yeah.
Okay. But just if you realize that success is guaranteed,
Yeah.
if you just stick with it. How long? Could be 80 years.
Yeah.
Like in the case with Donald Trump's
Yeah,
friend.
and it could be that unfortunately, whatever. Maybe your parents will see it. Maybe your parents won't see it.
Yeah,
maybe
no, we don't
this,
have
maybe
control
that.
over that
Yeah,
at
well,
all.
over that we don't have. Yeah.
We don't have control over that.
Yeah.
My brother
I
didn't get a chance to see my kid. Have any control over that?
Yeah. 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 So I don't know. You don't have
My
to.
uncle Felix didn't get to see my kid.
Yeah.
These are the two people who wanted to see me.
Listen, I was named after my grandfather. He didn't get to see me. My dad's dead. And my other grandfather only saw me for like 6 years, and we went to America. Did I run away from him? No. My parents took me to America. He couldn't go. He couldn't go with us.
Right, so look, it sucks, but just come to the realization that you can't put pressure on yourself to make something happen which you have zero control over.
Yeah. You have control over only the effort, not the result.
The result. Exactly.
It's so we just learned today from our friend, telling us a story about business and all the stuff that was going on. It's an amazing business, but all the the stuff you don't see, and you realize like Hashem had to bless it. The person had to do some spiritual work and whatever it was, and even then, it's not guaranteed. There's all these things that had to happen, miracles and talking to this person and talking to that person and all these, like hanging by a thread situations where somehow it works out. And I know that as well from my business, And like, yeah. So. And on top of that, you see other people who are barely lifting a finger. I think, speaking of Mizrahi, he talks about these guys. He had this funny thing. He goes, you see the guy on 47th Street, they can't even sign their name in English.
Yeah.
Persian guy. Pick up the phone, quick phone call, tick, tick, $250,000. They can't sign their name in English. Just goes to show Hashem,
We were just
responsible for your parnasa.
We were just talking to someone. I don't want to talk about who. We
Yeah.
were just talking to someone,
Yeah.
and they were saying how, that I just did the renovations about
Yeah.
about $1.6 million and this,
Yeah.
and I was like, $1.6 million. How the hell did you even get? Did you ever get anywhere near $1.6 million? God just puts people in these circumstances.
Yeah.
It's people don't understand
Yeah.
how little they have to do
Yeah.
with their material
Yeah.
circumstances.
How did you even have access to? It's like nobody has like that much money just lying around to invest in a business.
It's like their cousin.
Yeah, whatever it was.
They just, how'd you get $1 million? Oh, my cousin had it. All right.
Yeah.
And he was willing to give it to you? Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
It happens all
sure.
the time. What?
Yeah.
What are you talking? I cannot relate to the circumstance.
I can't. Listen, the only thing I can relate is like my dad invested not $1 million. He invested like in some number less than $1 million into let's say my uncle's business, right, when he had it. And apparently people do this all the time. Not only they do this all the time, it's like apparently the people who invest know that whatever they're investing, chances are that you have to go into that let's say you're investing in somebody's business with a mindset that there's a 95% chance you're never gonna see that money again. You may see it like as a, what is it called? Just like a loan that you're not gonna see profit. You're just gonna see that maybe that part of that money returned to you.
Yeah.
You have to go in with that mindset. That is nothing guaranteed. And who has that lying around? I mean, like, I don't know.
People have, like, God just puts people in these, like, in these circumstances. You know what's infuriating, right? Is that people who don't understand that, and again, this is not jealousy or anything like that. I'm happy that people are that there are people who are given these opportunities and they don't have to deal with the headache of not having funds and circumstances and blah, blah, blah. And that's great. I don't want people to be in bad shape financially or with their resources. But if a person who is is surrounded by abundance and has access to these kind of resources, if they don't understand that they have very little to do with that, and they think that there's something about them and something about other people in that circumstance, there's quality. They think the reason why we're here is because the people who we circulate around and circulate around us, we have certain qualities that others don't. It's sad. It's sad for them, really.
Yeah. So now the question becomes, okay, based on what you just said, so like, so then somebody like pretty much any person has certain talents and skills. So you're saying that's, I mean, obviously it's God given, but you're saying that if God wanted to, whatever they did, I mean, no matter what they did, it wouldn't pan out anyway, even if they had those talents and skills.
Of course.
So why? Here's my question.
How many incredible?
No. So here's my question. Why go to any of these? Like people go, even the Jewish world, people go to certain, to get like certain classes to learn a certain skill about business or communication or this. Like for example, I did this seminar in Israel called "Possible You" with Yom Tov Glazer. I feel like the seminar, actually, whatever I'm doing now with all these videos, dude, you know that I had I couldn't speak in public until a certain age, not in front of people, live, and also not on camera. So I feel like this was a seminar that actually got me to break through that fear, that issue, right? So you're saying, based on what you're saying,
it's like buying a lottery.
It's almost like there's no point in going to any of these things because that's not the thing that, according to.
I think I could boil. There's no point in going to these things for the following reason. Okay. For those listening to this, I think I can boil down what. The only valuable thing that you're going to take from this thing, where it's basically they're just like they have to try to make you optimistic enough to try something.
But this wasn't optimism. This was like I actually started doing it. It wasn't a question of pessimism or optimism. It was a question of conquering my fear with like some kind of emunah trick. Not trick, but like emunah.
Listen to what I'm saying. Trying to get you to do something.
Okay.
Right? The seminars are trying to accomplish people to try. Right?
Okay.
Go for it, because a lot of times people don't succeed because they don't put themselves out there.
You're right.
They don't take the risk. They don't make the investment. They don't take the chance.
For sure.
Okay?
For sure.
So the seminars attract, because the idea is nothing is going to happen if you don't try. You could fail.
You're right.
But if you don't try, nothing's
But
for sure
here I'm being
happen.
very specific, not just trying. I mean, in this case, it was an actual phobia I had to get up in front of people. Like a lot of people have stage fright, and it helped me get over stage fright. That's what I'm trying to say. So
let's look. Whatever it is that you need to do to get the shefa that was allotted for you, like we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
And for the folks at home who didn't listen to us earlier, shefa means that before you're even born, God already sets aside your maximum potential resources, like money and food and good health and life and whatever it is that you need to live and to function. There's a certain amount of it that God has already put aside for you. There's a maximum that you can't go past the maximum, but you can get less than the maximum.
Yeah.
And to get your maximum, which means your own personal unique success, right? You have to live in a way which doesn't block the flow of what's supposed to go to you, right? Like you got to get out, you got to unclog your blessing pipe. Okay?
Yeah.
So that the blessing comes to you, you know? Like, you got to unclog your blessing, your spiritual plumbing. So if you clog your spiritual plumbing, you're not going to get what was meant for you anyway, okay?
Yeah.
So that's what these seminars are trying to do. They're trying to get people to do that. And to do that, you have to do actions. You have to do physical actions.
Yeah.
Okay? So one of the physical actions that you needed to do was to be able to speak, right?
Okay.
And so that's all it is.
Okay.
So, obviously the obstacle, your phobia was the clog in the pipe.
Could be.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's...
I still, well, I conquered part of it, but I still haven't conquered, how should I put this? Not certain components of it, which is, let's say performing, like singing in public, which I know how to sing. I just don't sing in public. And also, what's the other one? I don't know. There's just certain things.
Who knows what? Just...
But the question is, why did even Hashem give, me that? I guess it's funny. It has to be a reason they give me that challenge to begin with. It's sad. He gave me that talent, but it's almost like, it's not that I'm wasting the talent, but it's almost like I'm not completely actualizing because of the phobia.
So this is where people speculate and drive themselves insane endlessly.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Information not available.
Yeah.
Somehow it serves God's purpose.
Like my whole life I've been, my dad was always wondering. My dad doesn't have the same phobia as me. He's like, I don't understand. Why do you have a great voice? Just get up and sing. I'm like, yeah, easy for you to freaking say, Mr. Balls.
That's like Conan smashing the boulder.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't understand. Here, look, I'm going to lift up my sword and smash the boulder. Just do it.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't understand how you think I can do that.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you? I do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, you're Conan. You can just do it.
Dude, I mean, like, it's, I don't know. Yeah, I think about that a lot. If
Conan has no idea why he can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no idea. He just does it.
Exactly.
That's the example that I had a martial arts teacher who was a killer. He was a killer in his profession, and but he knew his martial art very well, and he could explain and really teach why every technique works. Yeah. Understand it on a psychological level, and so he was teaching us, and he's like, he's like, I can explain it to you. Conan can do it too. Conan can do what I can do, but he can't explain to you why. No. He's just like, he's just a big lug who's able to do stuff.
Dude, listen, what I feel like is at the end of the day, something has to happen in the Jewish world, in the Torah world, and maybe in the world, but maybe we have to be the ones spearheading it, or us and like a few other people that I know, where, first of all, stop telling people to fake it till you make it. Because
you can do that with some things, but not with the most essential part of your relationship with God.
What? Not with simcha or what?
Yeah, not with true, simcha and love of God.
No, I know, but they're telling them to just pretend like nothing's wrong. Do you know what I'm saying?
I've heard like fake it till you make it in certain contexts, which kind of makes sense.
I'll put it to you like this. I'm looking at these Baal Teshuva guys walking around in yeshivas, and you run into them, and they have this smile on their face, and behind that smile is like, their parents who are divorced, some relationship with their, some sibling, this, that, and then I've seen it happen. These guys crack. Like there was a movie, this kid becomes the manager of the Twins. Yeah. He's like, he cracked like a bad stucco job. He was interviewing with the guy from ESPN. He's like, this guy cracks like a stucco bad, one of his players. Right. These guys crack like a bad stucco job because you can't sustain that. You're a human being. You're not a freaking, I don't know. They're trying to emulate Baba Sali, bro. You ain't the Baba Sali. You're not Rabbi Israel Abuchadzera, blessed memory. So like. Just be real. Just be real. Don't,
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think we've bogged down the folks enough.
You.
I have. Dude, listen, we're talking about truth here, right? Like, unless I'm, I don't know, playing patty cake over here.
No. We're talking about the truth. But
by the way, there's a gas station called Hebron. Did you ever notice that?
I wouldn't have brought it up.
I hear you.
I want to talk about, like, boobs or something.
Listen. Oh, by the way, the Jewish world should talk about boobs.
No.
I'm kidding.
I'm joking.
By the way, why is
we should name all our episodes boobs.
Yeah, we should. Just for rating. Why is there a gas station called Hebron? Can somebody tell me
Chevron.
It's Hebron.
It is.
It is Hebron. There's a gas station. I want to open a gas station called Cave of the Patriarchs. Maratha Makpelah.
Yeah.
Kiryat Arba. But you're not going to pay $4 a gallon. Kiryat Hetzi Arba.
I heard something interesting recently. And if anybody listening, maybe you guys, this is one of those, like, Twitter accounts with all the conspiracy stuff.
No.
But they took a clip from something real.
Mr. Keck, Dr. Keck, whatever his name is.
It could have been one of those, but it's not. It wasn't made by that person. It was just something featured on their account. They took a clip from a documentary of a person who was like an oil expert.
Yeah.
On oil.
Uh-huh.
The bubbling crude.
Yeah.
Black gold.
Uh-huh.
Right? And if you ask a person, where did oil come from? Most people today will say, well, it came from the dinosaurs and it came from all the vegetation.
Fossil fuels.
For the hundreds of millions and tens of, of trillions and gazillions of years.
It came from the Saudi Arabian dinosaurs. Yeah.
No, it came from the biological matter that existed before and then somehow got sucked into certain levels of the earth.
Yeah.
And the pressures turned it into this, like,
thing that gives off energy. Yeah.
And they call it fossil fuel.
Yeah.
That's why they call it fossil fuel.
Yeah, of course.
But he was saying the reality is it's complete horseshit.
Okay.
That it did not come from biological matter at all. It was just there, and it's not reliant.
Yeah.
It's not. So the claim is, if it's a fossil fuel, that means it's a limited resource. Because
correct.
Things have to die, and it has to develop over a long period of time.
And we're running out of things that died.
Right. And he says that in the oil world, in the world of geology that deals with oil, they know that that's a lie.
So
they know that the oil comes from levels in the ground that were so low that they never had any contact or any possible contact with any biological substance whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
basically comes from the earth, natural.
It comes from the earth. It's a substance that exists in the cosmos.
Yeah.
Certainly in the earth, but possibly in the cosmos.
I was going to say, now the question is,
we don't know how it's formed. We don't understand.
And the question is now is what's is it unlimited, or how much of it is
and he actually said, this guy, he goes, nothing is unlimited, because like even the earth it's a lot of mass. Yeah. But it's limited, right? At some point. Yeah. He said that there's more. There may be as much oil in the earth as there is water. Yeah. So basically, we have way more than we think we have, and but the crazy part is far more than enough than we can ever use.
No, but they keep saying that, like, so, for example, like Saudi Arabia is about to run out in like however many years, like in our lifetime.
But America has more oil than Saudi Arabia and Russia and the rest of the oil countries combined. A lot more.
So now here's the question: if we continue, if it's a genuine question, if we continue doing the whole drilling and all that stuff, are we in fact contributing even a small percentage to any kind of climate, what have you, any of this nonsense? Is that real, or is that just like,
it's fake?
I know what they're saying is fake, but I'm trying to think, are we contributing to anything? I think it's minimal.
Let me ask a question on that.
Yeah.
Why is that even something that we should even ask?
We shouldn't. Especially since, from the perspective of, let's say, if you talk to Orthodox Jews, they say, who cares, because Mashiach's coming. Like, as a simple answer.
Not all Orthodox Jews say
I'm saying, like, the Lubavitchers. I've heard say.
No, just, that is, I say that too. That's a legitimate thing to say.
I'm going to Farrakhan something right now.
No, dude, come on. We're going so nice. We're doing so well. All right.
I had Lubavitchers in Crown Heights tell me, when you confront them about littering, Hashem gave us this world to use.
Okay, that's stupid. Obviously, no, it's true, but that's not. That you can't use the littering.
Yeah.
What?
Or not littering. Using like styrofoam, things that are not biodegradable. Why do you guys use this stuff that you can't even recycle? Hashem, who cares? Give the new world to use.
Look. It's like
I've had this discussion.
it's a lack of respect for what God gave you.
It is, yeah.
Right? You're gonna make a big, disgusting, like you're just gonna shit all over the the surface of the earth, make it ugly, and have like stuff
styrofoam piling up,
giant landfills full of crap.
But it's unseemly. This is a mindset that has somehow seeped into, unfortunately,
There's a lot of stupidity in every community you go to. There's gonna be no lack of stupidity and of people saying stupid things.
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's just people, But it's not. But it's not true though.
It's not.
It's not something Torah. That's not a Torah thing.
That's not a Torah.
Okay. Yeah. It's styrofoam. I mean,
Mashiach's coming. So who cares? Where's styrofoam?
God wants you to use the resources. He wants you to use them, but you also have to do it with respect and in a seemly way. Okay. There's literally, if you read the text of the Torah, right? You Sefer Shemot, the book of Exodus. Right, it talks about the encampment of the tribes, right, in the desert, and it talks about how they needed to set up their tents and how they set up the camps, and it talks about the Shekhinah, right, for the Shekhinah to dwell in the tent, they have to, it was talking about how they should handle their refuse, right, how they should deal with garbage, right, like it's unseen, it's literally said it in the text. Remove it, put it away, bury it, for it is unseemly. Which means that it matters to God how we use the earth. Like to make big garbage piles, is disgusting. But it's not, it's not going to cause what the climate
Greta Thunberg is.
You know what I mean? Like they're just trying to. Those people are just trying to destroy the world and try to destroy humanity. They know that it would kill humanity to do what they want to do. Is somebody?
What's up? I thought he was a cop.
It is a cop. I just don't know why.
What the hell?
Is he?
Oh, he's trying to stop the guy right there. Oh, he's got a jacked up car. Yeah, he can't be driving around like that, man. Dude looks like what's
up with his car?
It looks like
doesn't have a bumper.
He looks like Mad Max. No, you can't drive around like that. Can't drive around like that.
I've seen a lot of cars. I've seen a lot of cars drive like that.
Dude, sometimes cops are charged with saving us from ourselves, or so they say.
Dear God, man.
You know what I mean? I'm saving you from yourself.
I've never wanted to punch you harder than
No, this is what I'm saying. This is what they would say. I don't.
You said it too effectively.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't believe in that horse manure. Obviously.
The horse pucky. You ever heard that one?
Yeah.
I don't believe this horse pucky.
Yeah. Or like the stuff that. What did they say in it? What is it? Battlestar Galactica? Oh, frack.
Felgergarb.
Frack.
Yeah.
They have like these futuristic curse words.
Yeah.
Cuss words.
By the way, I can't go home until you.
All right, so let's wrap up. Whatever.
No, I'm just letting you know. Why am I not?
No, we have a lot of footage. This is already like 48 minutes. This particular clip is 48 minutes. So I have to fuse it all together. I have to download that 7 gig file that we filmed.
Before we finish,
there's a Rona again.
Point. We started this on the whole thing about God needs, right?
No,
so let me wrap it up.
Put it in a nice.
Want to put a nice little bow on it, okay? So God is the only being that has a need, period, and it's a desperate need, and it's it's a obsession, and he's the only one. Nothing else in existence has a need at all, at all.
Yeah.
So that's you have to have so the people who are criticizing the revelation of this truth are essentially scared that the childlike fairy tale land consciousnesses, people who need to live in a fairy tale, the childlike minds, will cause rebellious behavior.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, what do you mean? God needs? Oh, he's not perfect. That means like bring him down to my level. Or it's kind of like the following. You know those shows like the King of Queens, and there's so many shows, I can't remember the names right now, where you have like a fat guy who's with a beautiful woman, and he just needs to worship the ground that she walks on, and thank God every day that she tolerates him for 3 seconds.
And then she'll stick around.
Right?
She won't leave.
He just needs to be so grateful that this beautiful woman gives him the time of day, and she like basically sacrificed her life
like God forbid
to be with him.
So it's like you're saying, God forbid he realizes that she's gonna age and he doesn't have to do any of that anymore.
God forbid God forbid he realizes that that she's not.
That she's also a human.
That he also has, that there's a reason why that she needs him.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, she needs me. I guess I'm valuable too. That means I can now be disrespectful. I can now be rebellious.
Yeah.
I can now make demands of God.
Yeah.
See, this is what these people, the fearmongers, fear. But at the same time, God, at some point, wants reality, the truth, to be out.
But here's the irony.
And he wants to communicate to us that he has this need, and he wants us to choose to fulfill it.
You just said we can make the quote unquote demands of God, but don't they know Torah? Don't they know our name Israel comes from fighting with God?
No. They're worried that
arguing with God.
They're going to be worried that dummies who they can make that assumption. Those who don't know Torah, will begin to make demands, think that because God needs them, they can make demands.
But here's the kicker: this discussion is only being had in the circles and annals of people who do know Torah. This discussion is the only people that care about this discussion are people in the forum world. That's the whole
everything is like
stupid thing of this whole thing.
Everything is like,
outside that nobody cares.
Most of the debates, most of the
machlokot,
the big arguments and divisions in the religious world are about, if you do this, then this scary thing might happen as a result.
What I'm saying is they don't see the light of day, these discussions. They don't see, in the general, like for the rest of the Jews.
It's like Rav Kook. Remember, he was excommunicated by certain, right? Yeah. Because they're scared that what he was saying, which is true, would
trickle out to
people would misunderstand it and abuse it.
Frum people would.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Ignoramuses.
I understand. Oh, you're saying frum ignoramuses?
Yeah, people who are part of the Orthodox world, but who are non-scholars.
So you're saying it would cause them to get off the derech?
It would cause them to make mistakes that they can't make, that you're not allowed to make. All right, it's like, it's true information, but if it gets into the wrong hands,
it's problematic.
It's gonna, people.
It's kind of like Kabbalah. Don't teach Kabbalah to everybody because you might misuse it. I mean, it's like what they say,
So I'm trying to defend Mizrahi a little bit. Like he's scared that fear is the only thing keeping people in line.
Fear is the only thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Is he wrong?
No, he's not wrong.
He's also not wrong. But the thing is,
look at that couple that survived the Nova Festival. They became Baal Tshuva.
If he would have left it at that, if he would have said, Mizrahi, I'm talking about Mizrahi. Rabbi Friedman is wrong. If he tells people this, it's going to cause rebellious behavior, and people will make mistakes.
But he doesn't even see that. If he said that,
he's like, I'm trying to do an impression. Screwing me up here.
If you only
knew what would happen, and even though the information he's saying is correct, but if people knew about this, it will ruin people, and they become rebellious, and then it becomes free for all, and then cats and dogs will be, living together, and frogs will be falling from the sky, and so on. If he left it at that, that would have been fine, because he has a point. But when he's like, he's a koifer, he's a heretic, and he starts calling him Santa Claus, he's out of his mind. Mizrahi has lost his fucking mind.
This Santa Claus rabbi, it's messed up.
He's lost his fucking mind.
It's really messed up to do that. It's like, dude, if anything, if you want to say what could possibly cause Hashem to be upset, that stuff, not Nova dancing in no clothing.
No, God said that makes him upset.
Yeah,
he doesn't like immodesty. He doesn't like his daughters to walk around in modesty. God communicated very clearly what he wants. Now there's taking that into consideration. He's like, okay, so I'm sure he understands, that it takes a person with a certain level of consciousness
to care about that.
Care and to want to do that, right? So we're not at that stage. So he has, let's say, like, you ever been to a house where nice family, but a couple of their kids are effed up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They tried. The kids just got effed up.
Yeah.
And it's not really because of the parents. The parents really tried. Like, okay, fine, they made a mistake here and there, but they were good parents. It was a good, loving family. The kids ended up effed up.
Yeah.
So the parent doesn't stop loving their kid. He knows the kid is so effed up that you can't really expect him to behave. Mm-hmm. Like, the guy is out of his mind. Yeah. He just took a shot of heroin. Yeah. Okay, and he's smoking at the table. There's a baby there. Mm-hmm. He's not someone that you can talk to, who you could say, listen, it's not. If you smoke at the table, then the little baby over there, it's going to. There's no one home to talk to. Yeah. But the father still loves the kid. Yeah. If the girl is so out of her mind that she can't stop walking around without her tits hanging out everywhere, there's something cracked in the skull. Yeah. But the father doesn't stop loving her. Yeah. And he doesn't want you to abuse. He doesn't want you to be mean to her. Yeah. Fine. Something about her in this moment is preventing her from being able to act like a normal person. Yeah. She can't be a decent person. Yeah. There's something going on. She's on drugs.
Or even whatever. If she's a decent person, she can't stop not wearing skimpy.
That's an indecent person.
Okay.
That's literally the definition of indecent.
Oh, okay, indecent.
Indecency.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I'm talking about her personality.
There's a lot of borrowed terms. It really creates a problem with communication. Yeah. You know? Like, people, he's a decent guy. That just means he's a nice guy. Yeah. Doesn't mean he's decent. Yeah. So it's a borrowed term. Like, I'm using decent in its actual meaning. Yeah. Okay? So there has to be something wrong with you. You know, if you're wearing clothes, right, that look like you dipped yourself, like you have a barrel of liquid latex. Yeah. Right in your room, and before you leave the house, you just dip yourself in. You're naked, and you dip yourself in the barrel, and then you wait till it dries, and that's your clothing. Yeah. You understand? If you don't understand how that could like affect the people around you, right? Like, it's the same thing if a guy did it. Yeah. It's not really the same thing. Yeah. Because if a girl does it, everybody has their tongue out. If a guy does it, everybody's running away. It does affect. The point is, it affects people around you.
These days, nobody's running away for anybody. Yeah. Okay.
Unfortunately. But the point is that it has an effect. If you're at a stage in your life where you don't care or you don't understand it, those are two states of mental illness. They're different. Yeah. Then something is wrong with you, and you're at a point where you can't be reasoned with. You understand? Until something changes, right? Yeah. But at that moment, if you're doing that, if you're behaving that means there's something. You're not wrapped so tight. Yeah. Something is wrong. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that the person who wants you to act decent wants people to abuse you because of it. Yeah. Like, you're sick. There's something wrong. Okay, so we'll work on it. It'll become better at some point. But so that's the problem. So the girls at the Nova dance, there's something wrong with them. They don't understand what they're doing is insane. But that doesn't mean that they should be abused for it.
Yeah, they should not be. They should not. And doesn't mean that they deserved it or this or that and the other.
No, none of that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like, they were, Hashem did this to them because of this and that. It's like, what the flip is going on?
Somebody's setting off their reserve fireworks.
Nice. It could be, today. What's this week is Stary Nowy God. The Russian New Year.
Yeah, I doubt that.
I doubt that this is for.
That's happening.
I know. Right, though you never know. There's a lot of Russians here. You never know.
Well, these smoke puffs kind of look like.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I guess we can stop bogging down or I can stop bogging down our.
No, I don't know if the last one was bogging down.
No, I'm saying in general. Yeah.
Folks, if we bog you down, we're sorry. We're just trying to.
Hadas is enjoying it.
Hey, Hadas, nice
to see you.
We haven't heard.
Hadas disappeared, fell off the face of. Hadas went back to Assyria. No, I'm kidding.
Please, God, no. Don't do that.
There is no such thing as Assyria anymore.
Stay in America, please. Don't do that. Yeah.
There's Assyrian people; they still exist. Hadas is one of them, but there's no more Assyria.
I spoke to one of them.
What's his name, the guy? He has has some kind of a center for something studies.
Sangar.
Yeah. This.
He's a lieutenant colonel in the army.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool guy.
Yes.
Oh my god.
All right, folks. It's been real. I have to figure out how to extract this 7 gig thing from my phone so that I can fuse this together with this clip and other clips from today.
This is cool, man.
It was a good conversation earlier today at Key Biscayne. We had about, oh man, you guys are you're gonna love it.
Got some good food.
It's a good conversation, especially for a guy.
We got some bathing beauty.
We got some, and we got us doing pull-ups. We got us doing dips on that dip whatever gymnastics thing.
That was not my.
Which
idea.
I'm gonna feel tomorrow morning on my triceps.
I didn't want to subject you to that. That was just Greg's genius.
And what's it called? Yeah.
Folks, I'd like to apologize to Greg publicly here, because we were walking on the beach and we're trying to get to the exit and we had to pass by like girls in bikinis and like he's just like, but I didn't. He's like, Rabbi.
No, but I didn't even.
Rabbi.
No,
I
said
I'm
it.
Like,
but I said the word rabbi once, and I didn't even. But the funny part is that I didn't even notice. Like I wasn't even looking at those girls. Like I didn't even notice them, and I was just like filming, and I was talking to you about like some rabbi saying something, and I
got really embarrassed.
You're like, why are you saying the word rabbi?
I'm like, shut up.
Why are you saying the word rabbi?
And I yelled at him, and I'm a jerk.
It's not a jerk. It's like, it just goes to show, listen, I think you have more of a consciousness about,
yes, because I'm not Farrakhan.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to. What does that have to do with Farrakhan? Even how is that would even be in the Farrakhan realm? I don't get it.
You know what I mean? Like it's sort of like when you talk about, let's say you say the word rabbi, it's a Torah subject.
Okay.
And Torah, you have to be very respectful, careful, and delicate.
Sure, but
how you bring it up, in what context.
No, but we were having a whole conversation on the beach. Like, what were we supposed to do?
I know, but I didn't want, but just like, like.
But what is it? No, that I understand. But
it's like, would you open up a Torah scroll around somebody who's not dressed?
No, you're right. But the
right?
conversation had to do with we're not talking. I mean, it is technically Torah. We were talking about why. We were talking about a very like subject that like is in the locker room. That was a subject.
But it's
and we were asking the question why rabbis aren't saying this and that and the other.
Right,
about it.
No, but it was in a Torah context.
Yeah.
But also, like I just realized that part of it is me realizing what the hell am I doing at the beach looking at bikini chicks.
Yeah, no.
I shouldn't be there.
No, what I'm trying to say is,
so I got embarrassed.
So what I'm trying to say is, you're better than me in the sense of being embarrassed and separating what you just said, separating the talking about Torah, not in.
Well, Greg, I am a hell of a guy.
I'm saying I can sit in a club and talk Torah. You know what I mean? I can sit in like Twilo and talk Torah.
I know, but
it's a problem. It's not supposed to do that.
You know what? I'm gonna have to get serious here. I want to bring this point home. Okay, it's like, when we've been in some crazy situations like before in the past, right? Like we've been in clubs where people are doing things that are like you should not be doing in public. Like there's people having sex. It's like like they shouldn't be doing that around other people. So I mean, I didn't freak out when this unfortunately all too common, right? Yeah. But I'm not going to be talking. I'm not going to be saying rabbi next to a bunch of weird old freaks having sex.
I know. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, obviously I wouldn't do that either. But no, I just said in this particular case, I said the word rabbi once, and I wasn't. It was just like in passing in some sentence or whatever it was. And I don't know. It was just like we happened to pass a girl who was sitting with her boyfriend.
You know what else I just realized?
On the beach. So
no, that's not who we're talking about. I was talking about there's like a group of girls.
I'm telling you, I didn't.
Like 3 girls, pretty girls, barely wearing anything.
You know what it is? I think I was just so bashful. I didn't even look at them.
I wasn't looking at them, but we had to look at them to not crash into them.
Yeah,
we were walking.
Sure, no, I could see them from the periphery of my eye. That's how I didn't run into them.
So basically, you know what? To boil it down even further, this is Truth Fanatics.
Okay.
I think I just got embarrassed.
Maybe.
Because if I said rabbi, they would think I'm weird, and I want them to like me.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down to. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I wasn't even...
Oh my God, that's even worse than anything.
I wasn't even trying to, I wasn't even trying to, impress them or whatever. Or...
No, it's like a subconscious, automatic thing, I guess.
Yeah. You could say if I knew
the bikini girls.
You could say if I knew that they were Jewish, and if they would, let's say it was like a beach where there's frum girls sitting.
That's too complicated.
I would stop talking until we got off the beach, entirely.
That's just no. I mean, it's looks. that's already going.
Yeah. But anyway,
I just saw some pretty girls and I got embarrassed. I think that's all it is.
Yeah,
I think it's actually what it comes to.
Listen,
whatever.
The thing is like this, man.
Screw you guys. I'm going ahead.
I know. I think you and I are different in the way that, the thing is, whenever I am, I can't say completely, but whenever I'm dating somebody, like in a serious way, I don't, it's weird to say this. Like, I do, obviously, I'm not blind. I see women, and whatever. I see attractive women and I acknowledge that their presence. But at the same time, I don't know how to put this. It's almost like I don't see them. And it sounds cliche, or it's going to sound kind of like...
Wait, who don't you see?
Like, I don't even... If I'm like so into somebody, let's say I'm dating somebody, I'm so into them, I don't even... Like with you, it's I know that it's shtick, obviously. Like we'll walk around and you're like, oh, look here, look there, whatever. It's shtick.
It's not shtick.
But that's what
it's not.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know how to put this.
No, look. There's some I kind of understand what you're talking about, right? Like you have your we used to say in the day.
What is it? Why go out for a cow? You're making home.
No. When somebody really is like, when one of our friends, let's say, falls in love with a girl. That doesn't happen. Like, you have these guys who they love to be really into the girl or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And like, oh, who's his current princess?
Yeah.
We had this like expression like, oh, who's his latest princess? Meaning, the woman that he wants to be his princess.
Put on a pedestal, or whatever.
Put on a pedestal and and get crazy over. Okay.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, like I'm a guy, and part of me is this animal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That I believe in truth, right?
Yeah.
Every guy, one way or another, has this where, in some way, every woman that he finds attractive is, he wants her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? And
it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that he doesn't want the woman that he's with, yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
And the thing is like this. He may want every woman that he sees, but he'll give his last drop of blood to save his wife's life. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Like, it's not the same for men and women. Like, if a woman is attracted to another guy, she will stop loving her husband probably and love this other guy more. Yeah. It's nothing like that for guys. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. The guy will die.
It's like Eddie Murphy. It's like, what is it? You're talking about a guy got caught, he's like, all right, yeah. And he's like, I blanked her.
But I love you.
But I make love to you.
No, but
I make love to you.
No, but that's not a good example.
No, but you don't really.
That guy's a bullshit artist.
Yeah, he's a bullshit. I'm just saying, but that's really what it be, as we say.
You know who explains it really well?
Yeah.
Patrice O'Neill.
Yeah.
He's like, you ask a lady who's married and has a family, right? And she's like, if you had the opportunity to, whoever the sexiest star is, Brad Pitt or whatever it is now, I don't even know. I lost track.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington or whoever.
The guy from Barbie, what's his face? Whatever that guy.
Whatever it is, the main guy.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care if you like Mel Torme. Let's say Mel Torme is the sexiest man you've ever seen, right? So let's say you're married, and not to Mel. You're married to your husband, and you love him, and you love your children, and you say to her, if you had an opportunity to have a night of passion with Mel Torme, your fantasy dreamboat, okay? Yeah. Would you risk your family, for that? She goes, no, I really like him. He's really sexy, but no, I wouldn't do it, right? Yeah. And and then you ask a guy, you change the question slightly. You're like, listen, if you had to give your life literally your life. You had, have your limbs chopped off.
Yeah.
Go through any pain, right? To spare your wife, the slightest bit of pain or whatever, right? To save her life.
Yeah.
Would you do it? Definitely.
Yeah.
And he would be telling the truth.
Yeah.
Right? And then you say, you see that crazy bum lady sleeping behind the dumpster.
Yeah.
She has garbage all over her.
Yeah.
She goes, would you risk your marriage to sleep with her? The guy would be like, well, she looks so cute with garbage on her.
Yeah.
It's a completely different animal.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. No, because women are, obviously.
We have a program. We are programmed to be this way. I did not do this to myself.
Yeah.
Guys didn't do this to themselves.
Yeah.
Women need to understand this about.
No, but the key to the whole equation is, and I'm not saying this to give you a lecture or to give you like some sort of whatever. Men of Torah are the ideas that we're supposed to, somehow mitigate that whole.
Yeah, you mitigate it. You don't act on it.
Yeah.
You don't.
No, meaning like by way of learning Torah, that's the method. There's no other way.
It doesn't go away though.
It doesn't. No, I'm not
mitigate
saying.
it.
No one's saying it goes away. You're just trying to subdue it and wrestle with it and do it.
Yeah, no, you got.
It's like it's like Yaakov wrestled with Esau. That's what it is.
Because it's there. That's not an excuse to give in.
Of course not. No.
You got to wrestle with it. You got to fight with it. You got to hit yourself in the head with a hammer. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I understand that, of course, obviously, but it's there. And it's constantly there.
So this goes
and
back
no one's going to make me feel bad for being programmed this way.
So this goes back to my original thing about these Baal Tshuva guys, where they pretend like it's not.
Yeah,
or they pretend like they've subdued it. Yeah. Or they just want to ignore the conversation.
Right.
Which makes me back to wringing of the necks. Yes.
I understand.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, look, they're in trouble.
Honest. Yeah,
they're in trouble.
They're in deep.
That's what the show is about.
They're in deep doo-doo.
That's what the show's about. If you think that shit, God made that unsubduable and he did it for a reason. Yeah. One of the reasons is, and this is not my speculation. One of the reasons is there would be no people if men were not the way that they are.
Yeah.
There just wouldn't be a population. Yeah. That's just fact. There wouldn't.
Dude, all I know is becoming. And we've had this conversation before. Becoming Baal Tshuva or going into the frum world. In many ways, and again, it's maybe because of the, so to speak, people who are in charge of, the gatekeepers of it. It turned me into some sort of, and at least back then, not now. It a little bit. I felt like it a little bit neutered me.
Yeah, because the women have taken over.
Not only the women,
the whole thing.
Yeah, but also the men are. I mean, the rabbis, whatever.
No, the women run the rabbis.
Yes, in a way. Yeah.
Of course, obviously.
Yeah.
That's why you can't. That's why the truth ain't allowed. That's why everything's censored. That's why.
But I'm talking about the whole.
That's why you got to feel bad.
But I'm talking about this whole
kind of creature that you.
But I'm talking about this whole Shomer Negia thing. It's like, I agree with it.
That's not. Dude, stop. You're creating a little bit of confusion here. The Shomer Negia thing. That's not the contribution of women. That's Torah.
I know, but I'm talking about its part and parcel.
How to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right. Like for instance, women, like you said, those people who walk around. And they say, they feel, or temporarily, because they're in yeshiva, they think they subdued all their, all their primal urges and all this kind of stuff.
No.
They're not really faced with it, and they have to pretend like it doesn't exist because women hate it. Yeah. Women dislike it. They want us to be remorseful for being born and programmed the way that we are by God. Yeah. By God. You understand? They think we're responsible for the way that for the struggles that we're born with. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
They hate it. They blame us for it. Yeah. So the reality is, the men of the past, they're like, what do you want from me? Talk to God. You got a problem with God, not me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we're supposed to give into it, but don't be mad at me for being this way.
Don't be mad at me for being.
You think it's a character flaw?
Yeah.
It's not. It's programmed.
Yeah.
Go talk to the programmer.
Yeah.
If you don't like the fact that it even exists, you don't think that it should even be a struggle. You don't even understand why there's a struggle. You think that there's something fundamentally wrong with me, that I even have this issue that I deal with. Yeah. That's the problem. And then guys, in order to make this, these stupid ass women happy, they pretend like they don't have it. Oh, he's such a nice boy. He's not like those other boys. Yes, he is. He's just trying to hide it because you're gonna crap on him for admitting that it's there.
Yeah.
There's a serious problem. We talked about how we had episodes about how women have taken over this whole game, and it's not good.
Yeah. And of course, and this goes back to what I was saying. Remember on the beach, I was saying like I mean, I said it in kind of half jest. You know, my life was just fine. What I meant by that is that when you don't have that consciousness, but when you're not in that space or that headspace, you know, dude, like I was like a guy, dude. If you had seen me from let's say age, I don't know, 26 to 30, like. Listen, I don't claim to be like I never claimed this to be alpha male or anything like that, but I never had a problem. Like, how should I put this? I always had the upper hand.
You don't need to get that specific.
Do you understand what I mean?
With the ladies.
I know, yeah, but not only alright with the ladies, I never got myself into a situation where I'm the one, you know, like what happened recently, where I'm the one that's like head over freaking Google eyes and I get obliterated. And I mean, not to say that the other person didn't, but I never had that. I never allowed myself to be in a situation unless I told myself, unless it's the person, you know, the right person. Other than that, I'm just going to be what a man is supposed to be. And I feel like becoming religious, you know, obliterated that guy. And you could say, well, maybe it obliterated that guy in order to build a whole new guy, you know, more kind of the guy that's supposed to be. But it didn't build anything. It just obliterated that guy and left nothing.
A smoldering wreckage.
Yeah, no, it left a shell. It left a shell of what was.
A whirling cinder.
For a while. No, for a while it did, really. I mean, it sounds funny, but and I had to rebuild, you know, whatever you see in front of you. I don't know if you see anything, but I had to rebuild that. I had to reanimate that from scratch. You know, by taking certain parts of the previous guy, the parts that, it's like Bruce Lee says, take the good parts, leave everything behind. And then take, you know, certain parts of the Torah guy and put that, and you know, that took me a while. That took me like the last, let's say at least 5 or 6 or 7 years.
Dude, the real Torah guy is the confident ladies man.
Sure, but I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
You listen, you know, you listen to the...
Not even
the old crones.
Not even those guys. Not even those guys. It wasn't in listening. It was being in some kind of environment of yeshiva somewhere. Some Jews. There's no listening. There's just looking and absorbing and, you know, like implication. Everything's implied. Shomer Negi is implied. This is implied. That's implied.
Listen to me.
Behavior is implied.
I understand what happened.
And you have to just go
I understand that. We talk about it endlessly.
Yeah.
But the bottom line, so what's the answer? The bottom line is, God gave you the Torah individually.
Yeah.
He gave it to you, and the effect that the Torah has on you, that's what was meant to have.
Yeah,
not somebody else's Torah.
For sure.
Do you understand?
For sure.
It's you and God. That's it. Okay?
Yeah.
Somebody else is trying to impose their consciousness and their version of it on you.
Or just modality, not even version, but just modality of how to act and how to be and how to...
There's that word again.
What, modality?
Yeah.
Sorry. Why is that a bad word?
Because it's one of those... It doesn't mean anything. Modality means just
way of
version.
Being. Way of being, yeah.
Right, way of going. So it's just like, you know, it's I don't know why the word bothers me. Something bothers me about
it. Bothers you because it's used by wokes. And a bunch of these self-help schmucks. Yes.
That's probably what it is.
I'm co-opting it for my own purposes.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We've beaten this dead camel.
God is confident that He gave you the Torah. That means He thinks you can open up, read the wisdom of our sages, and use it and understand it. You don't need it filtered through some lady's head.
As we say, if I knew then what I know now, who knows? Well, all I can tell you is there's a guy in my kollel, thank God for him, and I told you this, who came up to me and said, he asked me first, he's like, I may have a girl for you. I was like, oh, here we go again. But then he goes, how old are you? I'm like, How old do you think I am? He's like, I don't know, 32. And I just kept going like this, my finger. He's like, 35. I'm like, keep going. He's like, 38. I'm like, keep on trucking. 40. Keep on trucking.
All right, fine, we got it.
43.
You finally got the 43.
He's like, man. He's like, and then he goes to me. You know what he says to me? And this was like, you know, like you're scuba diving and you lost your tank, and all of a sudden somebody comes over with a tank with oxygen, fresh oxygen. He goes, Hashem is keeping you young looking for a young bride.
Amen.
Baruch Hashem. And that's maybe where we're in, folks. I don't know what Chris Wood just said. Modality, Lydian, Locrian, what are we working with here? I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell Jane's talking about.
He's from the future.
Is that the Tibet?
I told you. He's from the future.
Just keep singing. What was Jay saying? I don't know. Just keep singing. We're getting paid. What did Chris Wood say? I don't know. Just keep talking.
We'll understand it in 1,000 years.
Yes, if we make it.
When we get to the future.
Yes,
where
we
he's
get
from.
the Olam Haba.
Yes.
All right, folks. B'ezrat Hashem, the truth shall see the light of day in every form. And yes, including the Epstein crapola. All right, guys. It's been real, and tomorrow I am flying back to the good old
armpit of America.
Yes, for a bar mitzvah of my friend's kid. All right, Laila Tov. Mr. Frank, anything last? Anything to say? Nothing. Frank has nothing.
I'll say that for my I'll say this just something only my father's going to understand. Tanki nasze bystre.
Our tanks are fast, hopefully.
And, that's not good.
It means we should be matzliach. Amen.